Declutter your life. And yes, that includes people. Time to cut the dead weight. Your life is cluttered, and it's not just your closet or your desk. It's your relationships, your thoughts, and the way you're letting everyone else's chaos become your problem. Today we're talking about the kind of decluttering they don't teach you in organization videos. This isn't about pretty storage bins or color-coordinated calendars. This is about creating space in your life for what actually matters by removing what doesn't. And yes, that includes people who are draining your energy and keeping you small. We're covering 5 areas that need your immediate attention. First, how to reclaim your attention from digital chaos. Second, why some relationships need expiration dates. Third, how to declutter the noise in your head. Fourth, auditing your inner circle like your life depends on it. And fifth, why letting go isn't mean, it's mature. 1. Digital detox. Reclaim your attention. Let's start with something that's literally in your hand right now. Your phone isn't evil. Your habits around it are. You've trained yourself to reach for it every time. Here's a microsecond of silence. Every time you feel slightly uncomfortable, every time your brain tries to process an actual thought. Cal Newport, in his book, Digital Minimalism, talks about intentional tech use as a way to restore focus and joy. But here's what he doesn't sugarcoat. You've probably turned your phone into a digital pacifier, and it's keeping you from developing any real tolerance for boredom, reflection, or deep thought. Think about it. When was the last time you sat in complete silence for 10 minutes without reaching for a screen? When did you last have a shower without mentally planning your next social media post? You're not living your life. You're documenting it, curating it, and comparing it to everyone else's highlight reel. Your attention is the most valuable currency you have, and you're giving it away for free to apps designed by teams of neuroscientists whose job is to make you addicted. Every notification is someone else deciding what deserves your focus. Every scroll is you choosing stimulation over contemplation. Here's your first action. Cut 1 hour of screen time per day, just 1 hour. Replace it with silence, journaling, or movement. Not another activity that fills the void. Actual space for your brain to breathe. You'll be shocked at what happens when you stop filling every quiet moment with digital noise. 2. Relationship detox. The courage to let go. Now, for the uncomfortable truth, some people in your life only love you when you shrink yourself to make them comfortable. And you've been shrinking for so long, you've forgotten what your actual size is. Dr. Henry Cloud, Necessary Endings, explains that endings are not just a healthy part of growth. They're essential. But we've been conditioned to believe that letting go of relationships makes us bad people. It doesn't. It makes us people with boundaries. Energy vampires aren't your responsibility to heal, fix, or endlessly accommodate. You know who I'm talking about. The friend who only calls when they need something. The family member who turns every conversation into a therapy session about their problems while showing zero interest in your life. The person who celebrates your failures and finds reasons to diminish your wins. Here are the red flags you keep ignoring. Chronic drama that follows them everywhere. Guilt tripping when you set boundaries, envy disguised as concern when good things happen to you, and the exhaustion you feel after every interaction with them. You are not a rehabilitation center for grown adults who refuse to work on themselves. You are not required to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm, and you're not responsible for managing other people's emotions at the expense of your own well-being. 3. Mental detox. You can't think clearly in a cluttered mind. Your mind isn't a storage unit, but you're treating it like one. You're holding on to old grievances, future anxieties, other people's opinions, and random mental clutter that serves no purpose except to keep you stuck. Greg McKeown, in Essentialism, talks about doing less but better. But first, you have to clear out the mental junk drawer that's preventing you from focusing on what actually matters. Your brain is trying to process work stress, relationship drama, financial worries, that conversation from 3 weeks ago, and what you're going to have for dinner all at the same time. No wonder you feel overwhelmed. No wonder you can't make decisions. No wonder you lie awake at night with your mind racing. You've never taught yourself how to declutter your thoughts. Here's what works. Brain dump every morning. Get all the mental clutter out of your head and onto paper. Every worry, every task, every random thought. Write it down, then categorize it. What actually needs your attention today? What's someone else's problem that you're carrying? What's completely outside your control? Your mind is like a computer with too many browser tabs open. It's slow, it's glitchy, and it's consuming way more energy than it should. Start closing some tabs. 4. Audit your circle. Check their expiration date. Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." So let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. Who are your 5 people, and are they lifting you up or dragging you down? I want you to do an exercise that's going to reveal some truths you might not want to face. Make 3 lists. First list: who lifts you up? Who celebrates your wins without making it about them? Who challenges you to grow? Who shows up when you need them? Who makes you feel more like yourself, not less? Second list: who drains you? Who leaves you feeling exhausted, frustrated, or smaller than when the conversation started? Who takes but never gives? Who creates drama wherever they go? Third list: who do you need space from, even if you love them? Sometimes it's not about bad people. It's about people who are in a different season of life, people who bring out sides of you that you're trying to move away from, or people who keep you stuck in old patterns. This isn't about being harsh. It's about being honest. Your energy is finite, and every relationship is either adding to your life or subtracting from it. Neutral relationships don't exist. Someone is either contributing to your growth or hindering it. Look at your lists. Really look at them. If list 2 is longer than list 1, you have some serious work to do. 5. Letting go does not equal being mean. It's maturity. Here's where people get stuck. They think that creating boundaries or letting go of relationships makes them a bad person. It doesn't. It makes them a person who values their peace more than other people's comfort. Brené Brown says, "Clear is kind, unclear is unkind. The kindest thing you can do for someone who's draining your energy is to be honest about it instead of pretending everything is fine while secretly resenting them. You can say, 'I love you, but I need to love me more right now.' You can say, 'I'm in a season where I need to focus on my own growth.' You can say, 'I wish you well, but I need some space.' Distance is not disrespect, it's preservation. You are not required to justify your need for peace to people who profit from your chaos. You are not obligated to keep people in your life who make you feel bad about yourself. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let someone go so they can find people who are better suited to meet their needs, and so you can find people who are better suited to meet yours. Boundaries aren't walls. They're gates. You get to decide who has access to your energy, your time, and your emotional space. And you get to change your mind about that access at any time. All right, time for the truth that's going to sting, but heal you at the same time. You're not overwhelmed because you have too much to do. You're overwhelmed because you refuse to say no to things that don't matter so you can say yes to things that do. You're not tired because you're working too hard. You're tired because you're carrying other people's emotional luggage while neglecting your own needs. You're not confused about what you want. You're confused because you're trying to want what everyone else thinks you should want instead of getting quiet enough to hear your own voice. Stop calling it loyalty when it's really just fear of disappointing people who wouldn't hesitate to disappoint you. Stop calling it kindness when it's really just conflict avoidance. Stop calling it love when it's really just codependency dressed up in noble intentions. Your life is cluttered because you've confused being busy with being important, being needed with being valued, and being accommodating with being kind. None of those equations are true. You want a clear life? Start making clear choices. You want peaceful relationships? Start having peaceful boundaries. You want mental clarity? Start decluttering the noise between your ears. Here's your challenge for this week. And I mean actually do, not just think about doing. Pick one area we talked about today and take one concrete action. Delete one app that's stealing your attention. Have one difficult conversation with someone who's been draining your energy. Write down 3 thoughts you need to stop carrying around. Or audit one relationship that's been taking more than it's giving. Don't try to declutter your entire life in one weekend. Pick one thing and do it well. Then pick another. This is about progress, not perfection. Your future self is begging you to make space for the life you actually want instead of managing the chaos you've been tolerating. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. Comfort zones are where dreams go to die. Subscribe and hit that notification bell because we're building a community of people who choose growth over comfort, boundaries over chaos, and intentional living over accidental existence. Drop a comment and tell me, what's the one thing you're going to declutter from your life this week? Let's hold each other accountable for creating the space we need to become who we're meant to be. Remember, a cluttered life leads to a cluttered purpose. Make space. Energy flows where space exists. Until next time, stop managing everyone else's chaos and start creating your own peace.